Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Rick Flair.
Swain Event and SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. It is Thursday, 3 minutes past the top of the hour, May the 21st. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. I am broadcasting live from the Low T Center studio. Ben is still at the house, man. Very, very convenient. Ben, how's it feel, man, to take a few steps to do radio?
Feels great. It really feels great. I get an extra 15, 20 minutes of sleep.
Okay.
So it feels good. We haven't had a lot of technical difficulties over the course of the last 2.5 months. If we have had technical difficulties, it's been a quick fix.
Yeah, man.
So that's really the most important thing to me, is that the good people can hear us loud and clear. Absolutely. And I think that we've been able to accomplish that during this whole pandemic. So it feels good to be able to wake up and walk into my dining room and sit down and worship the good Lord.
We're doing the show, Ben. You mixing up your dining room and church.
Oh, sorry. It feels good to come into the dining room and talk about Tennessee picking up another commitment.
My goodness, man. My goodness. I was looking up where Ramshire, North Carolina was, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Population 1690 in 2018. And I was like, maybe it's close to the Tennessee line. Maybe he's closer to Knoxville. You know, kind of like a Heath Shula or Jonathan Crumpton situation. Maybe he's really close and grew up as a Tennessee fan. Dude, he is 45 miles away from Chapel Hill.
He's in North Carolina's backyard.
He is 45 minutes away from Chapel Hill, and I'm excited for Tennessee adding another just a football player. I mean, he's a guy that can play multiple positions. You turn on his highlight film, he's mossing people at wide receiver. He's breaking on balls, picking them off, going the distance. As a safety, he's making plays all over the place for his high school there at Eastern Randolph. And so I watched some highlight film this morning, and like if you're North Carolina, you got to feel like crap. Let's be honest. You got to feel like crap. This is one of the top players in your state. Ben, he didn't even take a visit to Tennessee until recently, which was to execute the great commitment video. I enjoyed it. And of course, Austin Price interviewed him right there in front of Neyland Stadium. But if you're North Carolina, you're like, what? Tennessee's coming in our backyard and taking all of our good players. And North Carolina has always kind of been a place that we have went into, especially as of late. Kavaris Crouch, others, even when Butch Jones was the coach. I mean, North Carolina was a key for us. Marquez North and Shaw Tuttle. My goodness. Old Robert Gillespie and Tommy Thigpen. And two former Tennessee assistants. Thigpen went to North Carolina first, and then Gillespie went afterwards. Gillespie was going to be a part of Pruitt's staff, but it didn't work out, and that change was made, I think, right after signing day, and Gillespie caught on there in North Carolina. So Cayman Marley, 205. He's a top Rivals 100 player. He's a top 247 player. I can't keep up with all the rankings. Rankings changing left and right, day by day. Folks upset, folks happy. I don't know, man. Whatever.
All I care is that Jeremy Pruitt and Jeremy Pruitt's staff is in love with him, is a big fan of him. That's all I care about.
That's all that matters.
Because, again, I know Jeremy Pruitt does not have a great winning percentage as a head coach, and he's new to the game in terms of being a head coach, but he's still one of the most brilliant defensive minds and just football minds in all of college football. So at the end of the day, I trust Jeremy Pruitt. And if Jeremy Pruitt does not work out as a head coach, it's not going to be because of his ability to evaluate talent or recruit or his ability to put a roster together. Same can be said for Derek Ansley and T. Martin and Jade Graham and Brian Niedermeyer and Joe Osaved and all of those coaches that have been recruiting their butts off of late. So that's all I care about, is that this staff, who is trustworthy because of their pedigree, likes him.
He may play offense.
He may play defense.
He is open to playing both, and I don't know how realistic that is consistently, because it's really, really hard to do. Now I've shared this on this program before that 03 Mark Jones did it, but since then we really haven't seen anyone do it like that. I mean, not even in the SEC, we haven't seen anyone do it like that, where you play consistent series on offense, defense, and special teams. I haven't seen it since 2003 Mark Jones at Tennessee. We've seen A.J. Johnson play running back a little bit at the goal line. We've seen Kavaris Crouch take a handoff at the goal line. We've seen things like that, but nothing like Mark Jones, where he is in the secondary and then returns punts and then turns around and runs the first offensive snap at wide receiver. So you can do that in high school, but this is a different ball game. College is a different ball game. And the SEC is a different world.
I loved his quote to Rivals, though, and VolQuest about his position. I like receiver, but I like safety and outside linebacker too. Tennessee has talked to me about both sides and just said they want me on their team and they will figure it out. I love that quote because to me, the best football players, and to me this opinion stands firm in any sport. The best football player, the best basketball player, the best baseball player, whatever sport it is, are the players that are the most versatile and the players that can do more than just one thing. They're more than one-trick ponies. Give me just a great football player, and we will figure out his position later on, because that means you can plug him in anywhere. And if you have him in mind as a safety, and he gets here to campus and it's not really working out at safety, now you have other options. You can plug him in at wide receiver. You can plug him in at outside linebacker. So I really like that quote of him telling Austin Price of VolQuest that Tennessee told him that they like him on both sides, but they just want him on the team and they'll figure it out later.
You know, the biggest thing that stands out to me about that quote?
What is that?
You said that he said that the coaches said that we just want you on our team. We'll figure it out. This is a 40-year decision. You get one shot at this. And he committed to Tennessee really not knowing the exact position he's going to play. He just jumped on board. That's trust, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's trust. That's like saying, hey, Ben, I want you to walk up to the steps, about 4 or 5 steps up. And I'm going to stand right here at the bottom. I want you to face towards the top of the steps. I want you to close your eyes. I just want you to fall backwards, and I'll catch you. Would you do that, Ben? Would you trust me that I'll catch you?
I would trust you, reluctantly.
Would you trust me, man?
I would trust you, but if it were Volstorm or D.R. Vol or Allen PA, I don't know that I could trust them. But if it were you or Nealon Mafia or Vol Nation, Turkey Man, I know I could trust y'all.
I mean, this is trust. This is trust. Hey, man, we want you on our team. We'll figure it out later. He trusts the coaching staff to put him in the right position to be the best football player he can be. It may be outside linebacker. It may be wide receiver. It may be safety. But think about the options. Okay, if you go play safety, you got Derek Ansley and Coach Pruitt. Or if you play linebacker, you got Brian Niedermeyer and Pruitt. And there's evidence of Pruitt and company developing players at that position and them going to NFL. Oh, if you want to play wide receiver, oh, you got T. Martin, who's done the same thing. So that's why he can fall backwards and know that someone's going to catch him. That's trust, man. That is trust. Woo! Just come on, we'll figure it out. Just come on, we'll figure it out. Hour 1 of the Swain event is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. HappyHiller.com. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA. You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. And guess what's hotter than Tennessee recruiting? That's right, the local real estate market. Things are still moving and shaking, so when you're ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, give me a call. Jennifer Morris at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
You're listening to the Swain event.
And you know this, man.
Better turn down the bass with this one. Turn up the treble. Because this will knock your speakers back to your trunk. If the speakers are in your trunk, these will knock your speakers out of your trunk onto the highway. On the way to Ben's home. Down 72. US 72. 865-255-03 is our telephone number to the Swain Event Hotline. Cayman Marley seems to be a quiet young man, but a baller. He picks Tennessee over North Carolina. Can I say he picked Tennessee over Alabama and Florida and Georgia? Can I say that?
Yes.
Let me see if he got any offers from those schools. That's my favorite part about getting commitments. Is when
I think I saw a Florida offer.
You did?
I think so.
I don't want to say he picked Tennessee over North Carolina.
Why? They're recruiting lights out right now. That's a good win.
Hey, we don't play them. They're not powerhouse. They haven't beaten us like that. They did beat us in a bowl game in 2010 or 11. I think it was 2010. Music City Bowl, where they changed the rule. Let me check out his offers here. Oh, we got a Florida. We got a Florida offer.
Kentucky, NC State. He did say at one point that North Carolina, NC State, Kentucky, and Ohio State were recruiting him the hardest.
We got an Ohio State offer.
All right, that's all I need to know.
We got a Penn State offer.
I'm sold.
Penn State, Ohio State, Florida. That's what we should say. He picked Tennessee over. Come on, man. Really? North Carolina? Now, if it was basketball, that would be a pretty big deal.
Like when Kennedy Chandler picks Tennessee over Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina, Gonzaga.
Yeah, sure. I hope so. That's a big deal.
Looking good.
That's a big deal. Or when Jaden Springer picked Tennessee over Memphis and Kentucky and North Carolina.
Do you know how awesome – I'm not trying to go down a basketball tangent,
yeah, you are.
But just a quick thought.
I'm cool.
You know
with
how
that.
awesome it will be if Kennedy Chandler does, in fact, pick Tennessee? I mean, he is in Memphis, Tennessee, home of Penny Hardaway, and he has a legitimate offer from Penny Hardaway, and he very may well pick Tennessee over Memphis, where he is from.
Hey, man, so I look at it as T. Higgins and Amari Rodgers.
I love it.
That's how I look at it. I mean, yeah, you're from that area, but there's drama in your hometown. Penny Hardaway, he was a certain flavor of the month last year. This year's a little bit different because of what happened with the team falling apart, NCAA being up in there. So he may need to just get away. He may just need to get away. Jaden Springer's folks didn't like what was going on in Memphis, is what I heard. They didn't want their son in that environment. So that may be the case. That may be the case. But back to Mr. Marley. Tennessee over Florida and Ohio State and Penn State. Yeah, South Carolina offered them. Texas A&M offered him. Looking at the SEC teams, Kentucky offered him, but I'm sorry, I don't brag about out-recruiting Kentucky in football. Good stuff. Good stuff. 45 minutes away from Chapel Hill. He said, no, thank you. I'd rather go to Tennessee, and they're just going to figure it out. He'll put me in the best position to be successful. We'll roll. Austin Price interviewed him. Austin Price is a wizard, man. He's a wizard. He is a wizard. I wonder if that was a player Austin Price was. When I asked Austin about any commitments coming up, you could just kind of tell in his voice and his answer that he knew something was coming, but he couldn't say. He couldn't say.
I think Austin went to the school of Hogwarts, where you learn to become a wizard.
Man, he is a wizard. Tennessee, 23 commits. And Tennessee's not done. Tennessee is not done.
It is going to be fascinating to see how they work the numbers.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be fun to watch. I don't care as long as Tennessee is good. That's all I care about. Cayman Marley joins this class, and he is now the fifth highest rated player in this class. Already is an athlete, 205, 6'2". Did 247 do something with the rankings yesterday?
Yes, I believe they updated them.
Was it good for Tennessee or bad for Tennessee?
I did not look because I do not care, to be quite honest. But I did see several Tennessee recruits unhappy with their ranking.
Did the total
and fans saying that 247 has it out for Tennessee?
Oh my gosh! You know, Jeremy Pruitt just did a exclusive interview with Barton Simmons of 247, who is the director of college scouting, a couple days ago. That narrative is not true. Yeah, that narrative is not true. So I reached out to someone that's like at the top of the food chain there, 247.
Humble brag.
I mean, I'm just letting you know. I think it's important that I mention that. Because I told you, I was not happy about the dual threat quarterback stuff. I told you I was going to talk to somebody about it. And I did. Exactly what I did. And
what was your statement to them, and what was their response?
Hold on. Let me go to the message. I said, okay, I hate the dual threat quarterback subcategories with recruiting rankings. I'm tired of seeing dudes who can't throw worth a damn be rated high, but true dual threat quarterbacks be listed as pro style. Running backs versus all pro running backs. Running backs are basically guys who can't catch then. Is wide receivers next? Possession versus deep threat? And I got a laughing my butt off in response. They feel
so you didn't get a real response.
I got a real response. They feel what I'm saying.
So when 247 changes its quarterback rankings to where it just ranks all the quarterbacks into one list, we are going to credit the one and only Jason Swain.
I don't want any credit.
Well, I'm going to give it to you, Swaino.
No, I don't want any credit. I'm going to
you
block you.
Deserve it.
I'm block you on Twitter if you give me credit. I don't want any credit.
Block me because I'm going to give you credit.
I just think it was cool in theory at the beginning, but I think it's creating more confusion than Coach Duggerton. Folks, he's not real. He's not real. I got DMs. Swain, what's going on? What happened to Coach Pruitt? Yo, Coach Pruitt at the house eating cornbread, man. He's chilling. Nothing happened to Coach Pruitt. He just got
Coach
another
Doug's
commitment.
put up a 50 burger last night against UCLA.
Dude.
Ha! Take that, Bruins.
I would rather.
Oh, here comes. Oh, get off my lawn.
Sit in my backyard and watch the birds, which I think is fascinating. Be able to know where the worms are. I mean, they just fly, and then all of a sudden they come down. Boom! They got a worm. I thought worms was in the ground. Pretty cool. I'd rather do that than sit there and watch somebody play a video game of Tennessee versus UCLA. There's not even a college football game. So the latest game was what, 2000 and when they get rid of it?
The last one was NCAA 14.
14? I'm sorry, man. I'm not doing that. No offense to people that are doing it. I understand you got to find joy. You have to find, things to do your way. Cool, I respect that. I'm not doing that. The Coach Duggerton thing, it does nothing for me. It's not funny to me. It does nothing to me. But I like it when y'all happy. I like it when, man, I like you getting a kick out of this. I think it's awesome, man. There's cartoons that I don't care for. My kids like it. That's all that matters. I'm happy. They happy. Ben, I'm happy. You happy. Cool, man. Duggerton makes sure I'm happy. Cool.
I did not sit down and watch the entire. I watched like 5 minutes of it just to see what was going on, and I watched like the first 2 minutes of the game.
You know I can do it in 5 minutes. I can do a lot of things in 5 minutes.
Not during the quarantine.
During the quarantine.
And don't judge me, but I finished my taxes last night.
There you go.
Yes, I'm late.
They got an extension, man, July 15th.
Exactly.
So you good.
And that was the worst thing that happened to me because that allowed me to procrastinate even longer.
Good job, Ben. You're a grown-up, man.
So while I was counting up how many miles I drove, which, speaking of which, do you want to guess how many miles I drove to your house last year?
My house or our hometown?
No, your house where the studio is.
Oh. No, somebody's on the line. You can tell me later.
Oh, okay.
I would hate for Don to put them hands on you because you made him wait. Let's get to Don. Don, good morning. Hey, Don, you there? Don. Going once. Going twice. Call us back, Don. 865-255-03. See, you ran off Don, Ben, talking about your taxes and stuff.
It's okay. He thinks Pete Maravich is a better scorer than Michael Jordan.
Oh, man. Whew. Man. Don't get me started again. Ben, you know what I thought about you yesterday? I think you have been setting this all up. I got another DM from Jason, by the way, about the whole dual third quarterback stuff. Oh, my gosh. I think you are like the Ashton Kutcher. I think you set me up part of a punk episode. I think you punking me, Ben. You getting these people to call in with these terrible takes to try to get a reaction out of me. I think you are trying to punk me. That's what I think. Hour one will continue after this. Be right back.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. And we're going to get to Don first because Don gave us a call back. Don, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you, sir?
Doing fine. Yeah, I went to bed, and I must not have checked real late, and I woke up, and first time I got on message boards and stuff this morning for your show, I seen we got that latest recruit. Bless his heart. He's 4-star now, but next time 247 does his rankings, I'm sure he'll be a 3. You asked about, you guys were discussing it. You being from Alabama, you'll love this part because Mr. Brooks is now a 4-star according to 247.
Yeah, they I think recategorized his I said that wrong. They changed his position, I think.
Yeah, they've got him. Well, weak side defensive end I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
he dropped from like the number 14 guy to 36
overall. But he's the number one weak side defensive end in the country, though.
Yep. And number 2 now in the state of Alabama, according to them, not number 1. I'm sure Alabama's got some guy that's number 1 now.
Yeah, I wonder who is the first guy. JaQuincy McKinstry, who is a corner, who is the second DB at his position. He is 22nd in the country. Goes to Pinson Valley High School. Okay, I know about Pinson, but it's between Alabama and Auburn. He has not picked a school yet, so he is the number 1 player in the state. of Alabama.
They also dropped it. They dropped Aaron Willis. And let's see, who else was it? I think they dropped Julian Nixon. I know the first 5 or 6 guys, top-ranked guys in our class, they dropped them all.
Yeah, I was told that a few guys of defense, because they did defense mainly, that a few guys had individual drops, but the class as a whole got a bump. Like the class is actually higher than it was.
Yeah, Kmar Wilcoxon got dropped some. They did give a 4-star to Tyon Evans, and very slightly bumped Salter overall. Still, was 247. Of course, over the rivals, we don't have any 5-stars over there, even the top player in the country's position.
Yeah. So I mean, the class as a whole got a bump. Just some individual players, got bumped down a little bit.
Do you guys have any clue this was about to happen?
Yeah, I mean, they usually do their re-rankings around this time, and then they'll do it again during the season, and then they'll do it again after the All-American games and things like that are played.
I don't panic too much about how all that goes, because I know they do. I'm like a lot of people's befuddled if you can't go to camp and you haven't played any high school games this year. How do you go up and down?
They got some official measurements. They did some testing from earlier events, and they got feedback from coaches, things like that. Is what I gathered. So, and watch film. So, I'll be honest, Don, it's really not a big deal to me.
No.
I don't buy into any conspiracy theories that Tennessee, 247 has a thing out for Tennessee. Pruitt literally just did a sit down with Bart Simmons a couple days ago, and there are connections to people inside of 247 and Pruitt, like really strong connections. So I just don't buy it. And if these guys, if the shoe's on the other foot and these players got slight bumps up, I would have had the same reaction. Like, whatever.
Yeah, it's just what it is. It's like got to temper all the good news.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want Tennessee to get up. I wouldn't want players on Tennessee's recruitment list to get a bump simply because Tennessee offered them. I mean, it works both ways, because then we're looking at the 2016 class where, you have all these guys who were rated high, but it was all for show, and then when they got here, they couldn't play. So I don't really care either way. Just come here, ball out, be developed, and let's go.
Well, there's a couple of things you look at, and of course, there's those saying that the exception proves the rule. Over the years, we've had several 5-stars going on way back in the Coach Palmer's days. They never played or didn't play much, couldn't play, either transferred, got run off, for disciplinary reasons, different things. But at the same time, I know I think a lot of Butch's top-rated players that didn't do as much overall. Now, we had some that really did, obviously, but he was really bad about taking players coming off serious injuries and stuff, and they come here and either because of injuries or whatever, not quite perform. But on the other hand, you look in the NFL right now, we got 2- and 3-star guys, some never even drafted, that are starting in the NFL. So that just goes to show you, whether we're talking about 247 or coaches or the NFL coaches, they miss. They miss good and they miss bad. A lot of first-round draft choices pan out, and then you've got Mosley and different kids like that 3 stars, 2 stars. Either they get bigger, grow all of a sudden. It's kind of like, I'm having a hard time. Who was the big center in the NBA that went to Navy?
David Robinson.
Yeah. I mean, who knows somebody's going to grow 8 inches in a year?
Yep. Yep. Anthony Davis did that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you just don't know. Those things happen. But anyhow, I just chimed in because you guys were discussing that. And when I know a lot of folks on the message boards were real upset yesterday right off the bat. Like,
Of course.
They dropped all of our soft guys.
Of course. Waste of energy. Don't get upset at the about the rivals in the 247 rankings. It's just not that big of a deal. And Don, thank you so much for the call. I understand being a Tennessee fan and being protective of your school. I get it. That's what being a fan is all about. But it's just not that serious. And there's no conspiracy against Tennessee. If anything, like if there was a conspiracy, it would be in the opposite direction. Go Vols 247 is one of 247's best producing sites. So wouldn't you want to give the bump to the site that produces and generates the most money? Yeah, you would. So that's just not true. It's just not true. 865-255-03. Let's get to Around the SEC. Around the SEC. I sounded like Rocky a little bit. Adrian. All right, man, what you got?
A couple different notes this morning. Pete Thamel reported 16 hours ago that according to his sources, the NCAA Division I Council voted to approve voluntary athletic activities in football, men's basketball, and women's basketball to start June 1st and go through June 30th. There had been a moratorium on that through May 31st. Other sports will be acted on a later date. So beginning June 1st, different teams can report to campus. Now, remember, the SEC will vote tomorrow. This according to Chris Lowe. SEC presidents will vote Friday on whether to bring athletes back to campus on June 1st or push that date back. Multiple SEC athletic directors told ESPN it was a mixed bag in their discussions.
Mixed bag? Wait a minute. I thought only Coach Foreman was talking.
Yeah. But it was a mixed bag about when would be the best date. So June 1st, June 15th, sounds like there will be Tennessee football players on the University of Tennessee's campus sometime next month.
Yes.
Which is great news. Positive step forward towards football season. Obviously, the first step towards football season. And then the vote, which will happen tomorrow on which specific date the players will return, is the second step. And the third step will be whether each individual school will allow it. So remember, just because, say, the June 1st date is passed and that's when schools can start bringing players back, Tennessee does not have to start bringing players back on that date. If they wanted to, they could wait until the June 15th date to bring players back. The other news that I have for you – go ahead.
And let me say this, man, and please, if the SEC says, okay, we can come back June 1st, if Tennessee decides to come back June 15th, please save your political stances and your medical expertise to keep it to yourself. Please. Nobody wants to hear it. You're not a doctor. You're not a scientist. And I don't care what side of the aisle you stand on politically. I don't want to hear it. So please don't share it with me. Thank you. I just want to say that.
The other big news that I have for you this morning is that the NCAA reportedly says no to one-time transfer waivers until the 2021-2022 academic year at the earliest. The NCAA statement that they put out said that reliance on the waiver process for student athletes in the 5 sports of baseball, men's and women's basketball, football, and men's ice hockey to immediately compete after a first transfer has put enormous strain on a historically collaborative process built to handle extenuating circumstances. The resolution called the waiver process an unsustainable method to achieve lasting stability, consistency, and transparency within the transfer environment, and declared it was never designed to accommodate sustained requests for relief from a rule without actually changing the rule. The comprehensive package will address issues that impact transfer, including academic requirements, roster management considerations, transfer notification dates, accountability measures for schools that accept transfer students, and additional education on the transfer rules and process. The Committee on Academics will provide its guidance to any academic aspects of the package. So the one-time transfer waiver does not appear that it will be enforced this year, which I will tell you comes to a surprise to collegiate coaches, because I had a collegiate coach tell me that, I mean, it was all but said and done. So I wonder how much the pandemic has – actually, I don't wonder. I almost guarantee you that the pandemic has caused the push to allow a one-time transfer waiver. The pandemic has caused that to be pushed back just because they're so focused on other aspects of the sport right now that, to be quite honest, the waiver is taking a back seat, and in my opinion should take a back seat to prepping for football season and making sure that students return to campus safely.
I understand why the NCAA is doing this. It's not going to help them moving forward. I think this is another reason to break away from the NCAA. But I totally get it, because if I'm a coach and I spent 8 to 10 months recruiting a young man, and that young man picked another school, I came in second, and I saw that young man at his school was not being successful and wasn't happy, you don't think I'm going to try to say something to him indirectly? I don't have to personally call him, but I know somebody else who could, or maybe I know someone else who can talk to him, and I can engage in some conversation and see, hey, man, you went to this school at first. You ready to come home? Absolutely, I would do that. So that's something that whenever this rule is passed, you're going to have to worry about if you're the NCAA, or if you're the governing body, over Power 5 schools, whatever. Like something like, if you are someone who is trying to uphold the rules, that's something you're gonna have to worry about, because I would be tampering if I'm a coach.
I would
in that situation. I probably would.
I would too. I mean, other schools are going to do it. I need to keep up with those other schools. Probably shouldn't, but it's okay.
I probably shouldn't say that, because who knows? I may be a coach one day. I was just joking.
That is true.
I was just joking, NCAA.
It was my idea. It was not Swain's idea. I infiltrated his mind and let him say that.
I was just joking, and that's the truth.
But it does affect Cade Mays. Now Cade Mays has to wait on an answer as to whether he will be eligible or not, and let's hope that it does not take as long as the Aubrey Solomon situation.
I'm not really worried about Cade Mays. I mean, Tennessee, and this is me selfishly talking here as a Tennessee fan. This is not me talking as just a general college football fan. This is me as a Tennessee fan. As a Tennessee fan, being biased, this rule doesn't do anything for me. I don't really care about the rule, because, number one, we don't have guys wanting to transfer out. We don't have good players who are unhappy. They just want to leave. We have not experienced that. Number two, Cade Mays was prepared with a lawyer, the same lawyer that was successful in getting other guys immediate eligibility. Cade Mays is loaded with him, Tom Mars. There's the lawsuit with Daddy's Finger in Georgia that's right there in the back pocket too. I just feel like Cade Mays will be able to play. And everybody else who transferred in, they're grad transfers, and so they'll be able to play too. So I'm good, man. Doesn't bother me one bit about the transfer rule right now, because I know eventually, maybe next year, that it's going to go into effect. So all those kids that said no to Tennessee originally, maybe once the rule is passed, we can go out and get them. You know, when they contact us, of course, not the other way around. Because only I would do something like that. Only I would do that. Hey, Junebug, I want you to call your cousin's auntie, who's cousins and friends with this player. Tell him that I said it's time to come home. See, you're not directly contacting the kid. You're indirectly contacting the kid. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. I'm just kidding, NCAA. I'm just kidding. That's not how you do it. 865-255-03 is our telephone number.
It does not look like Mac McClung will be attending the University of Tennessee. The Georgetown transfer announced a top 7 yesterday.
Oh, my
Jay
gosh.
Swizzle.
Oh, my
And the
gosh.
teams consisted of Arkansas, Auburn, BYU, Memphis, Texas Tech, USC, and Wake Forest.
Ben, I'm going to keep it real because I've had this stance before. I do have a soft spot for local talent. He's a local kid. I have a soft spot for local talent. But I've had this stance before about transfers acting like they're high school recruits again. When I saw his tweet and it named the top 7, I was like, "Wait, is this the same transfer player or this is a high school player? Top 7? Come on, man. You're too old for this. Just pick a school. You ain't got to do all that."
Let us know when you pick a school.
I know, man. Like, come on, man. You're a transfer. Just pick a school. You ain't got to do all that top 7. Who gonna give me 10,000? Which fan base gonna give me 10,000 followers? Come on. Like, come on, man. Like, really? That is as worse as a high school student announcing his transfer to another high school. Like, come on, man. Just go play. I don't care.
Everybody wants the attention.
And I don't care if Tennessee was in the top 7. It's just, come on, man. Just pick a school. You are a transfer. High school, I get it. I get it. It's your first time making an announcement, having this moment. I understand. I get it. But it's like the person who's married like 4 or 5 times. Just go to the courthouse, all right? Just go to the courthouse. You don't need to do all the big wedding. Just go to the courthouse. You're ruining our Saturdays, okay? You're ruining our Saturdays.
We're trying to watch college football here.
Yeah. You get married during football season. You're already ruining that. Just go to the courthouse.
Or at least go to the beach with your significant other and leave us alone.
Oh, man.
But this is just bad timing for Tennessee. I think in a perfect world, they would love to accept the transfer of Mac McClung, but it just doesn't make sense on multiple levels. The 3 factors that stand out to me, Swain, is A, there's no roster spot open right now, and I don't think that you're going to force any of your current players in the front court out of Knoxville. I think Tennessee really likes all of their guards and small forwards, wings, whatever you want to call them, the Drew Pimbers and Devontae Gaines. I think Tennessee likes them long term. And then B, if a spot did open because Yves Pons remained in the draft, you were going to pursue a post player, not a guard. Correct. In that situation. And I think the most important factor is that Mac McClung will likely sit out this year. Mac McClung demands the ball in his hands just because of the position that he plays. He is very fun to watch with the ball in his hands. He's a high-volume shooter. are you going to bring him in the midst of trying to recruit Kennedy Chandler over Duke, Kentucky, Memphis, Gonzaga, North Carolina? I think that would lessen your chances of bringing in Kennedy Chandler, because then Kennedy Chandler would see that you already have a ball-dominant player that will be set to be available for Tennessee during his true freshman season. And Kennedy Chandler, more than likely, is a one-and-done player. Is he going to want to come spend his 1 year of college basketball playing at a school that already has a player that is ball-dominant? Yeah. I don't believe so.
Offensively, Matt McClung fits perfectly in what Auburn does. Defensively, I don't know, but they can change that with him. I mean, he looks like a guy that will fit in at Wake Forest or fit in at Auburn. Very well offensively. So, cool. I'm glad Rick Barnes likes the players that we have, and we are continuing to attract top elite talent in basketball and recruiting against North Carolina and Dukes and Kentucky's of the world. I like it. I like it a lot. Text box time. South Kakalaki says you better get ready, Swain. If Tennessee don't practice until 2 weeks after other SEC teams, you're going to hear about it all year after every loss. Well, we won't have to worry about that because practice doesn't start until the first week of August or the end of July. That's when practice starts. Everything leading up to official practice are just called workouts, which they're doing some of those at the house. The intensity is different. The speed may be different, but they're workouts. So no one is practicing. No one's going to have a 2-week advantage over another team as far as practice. That's not going to be the case. It's not going to happen. Vala Birmingham says the last place we want him to go is Auburn. He will haunt us as long as he is there.
I'll take Jaden Springer, Kennedy Chandler, Keon Johnson, Santiago Vescovi, Josiah Jordan-James. I'll take those 5. And
me too.
Add a 6th with Victor Bailey Jr.
What about E.J. Anasicki?
Well, he's not a guard.
Oh, well, he's gonna be playing a little bit inside out. He gonna be in some 3-guard sets.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like the guards that are preventing Matt McClung from coming to Tennessee.
I got you. I got what you're saying. Makes sense. That's a wrap for hour number 1. Hour 2 is coming up. Touchdown or turnover will start us off in hour number 2. Cayman Marley, 45 miles away from Chapel Hill, says, I'm good. I'm going to Knoxville, man. I'm going to visit when no one's on campus, and that's good enough for me. Woohoo! Tennessee's on fire right now. 865-255-03. Hour 2 coming up.
Driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Alcoa Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Touchdown or Turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. It is 8:01 on a Thursday. Ben McKee, Jason Swain here with you. It is time for touchdown turnover. Ohio State eyes football games with 20 to 50,000 fans. The game model showed potential for that number. Previously, I said Tennessee would get over 50. I'm not confident in that anymore. I'm not confident in that at all anymore. Do we see a model where it mimics Ohio State's? Because Ohio State, they have a big stadium. They're sitting over 100,000 people on a packed Saturday. Their model will show a crowd closer to 20 to 22 fans and up to 40 to 50,000 if guidelines are relaxed. So instead of a touchdown turnover, it's more like a this or that this morning. Do you see, Ben, the crowds being between 20 and 25,000 or between 40 and 50?
I see it less than even 20,000.
Wow.
To be quite honest, because the number that we continue to hear is what, 15% of the stadium can be full at social distancing guidelines.
Yeah, 6 feet.
At least that is what I have seen. If somebody has seen something else, please let me/us know on the text box or on Twitter or what have you. But I have consistently seen the 15% number thrown out in terms of the amount of a stadium that could be filled when social distancing. So Madison Blevins, a sports anchor and reporter for WBIR, she is new to the Knoxville beat. I believe she was in Nashville previously. I know she's from Knoxville, but I believe she was working in Nashville, and now she is in Knoxville. Hasn't necessarily been able to hit the ground running because she was hired as the pandemic went down and everything's been quarantined. But she did some math, and her math said that one fan every 6 feet apart equals 16% capacity, or roughly 16,400 fans. Two seats together, so you and the missus sitting together, Swain, would be 18% capacity, or 18,400 fans. A combo of singles, doubles, and triple seats equals maximum capacity of 35%, or 35,000 people. So assuming that 15% number continues to be thrown out, I would go the under of the 20,000 number that you just mentioned, because according to Madison Blevins, 16% capacity equates to 16,400 fans.
Yeah. I think we're seeing things move along, man. We're seeing the governor open up things. We're seeing, other states open up. Things are moving on. I see 40 might be high, but I do think it would be more than 16,000. And I said this before, but I'll say it again. I want to know who are getting those tickets.
Yes, that is fascinating.
Who are getting those tickets?
And are you raising the price of those tickets because there are so few available?
What about the people that have already paid their season tickets? Like, what's going to happen there? Is this going to be a situation where big bank take little bank?
Probably.
Your $2,500 a year donation gets trumped by someone who is donating $10,000. Like, are those people getting the seats over the smaller donation? That's kind of what I want to know. But as a player, man, having 15, 20,000 is better than having none. And in football, it's not like basketball. Football, there have been some very intense scrimmages where there's no one in the stands, and it felt like a game there at Neyland Stadium just because of the makeup of the game. Football is a very intense game. It's a physical game. You better bring the energy or someone's going to knock your hat off.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get yourself hurt. So the TV production, are they going to pipe in music? That's one thing that you can hear watching the game on TV. You can hear when the opposing team pipe in music there right before the snap on third down. I saw where a sports league is discussing piping in crowd noise, relaxing some of the guidelines to be able to pipe in more noise. I think it was NFL being able to do that. Is there going to be a limit on, I guess the how loud you go with the music or the noise? That we gotta do what we gotta do this year to get sports. Again, it's not going to be comfortable for everybody. It's not going to be normal for everybody. It's going to be different. So just get used to it. Get ready for it.
And I will say this, my opinion on the whole 15, 16% and 16,000 or so people is as of May 21st.
Yeah.
I also believe that could absolutely change. You saw the Ohio State AD tweet out, and you just mentioned it, Swain, but with relaxed guidelines,
Mm-hmm.
they could fit in 48,000 to 50,000. I could also see that happening.
Yeah.
So as of today, just based off of current circumstances, I would say 16,000, but I do also recognize that could vastly improve over the next 2 to 3 months.
Correct. Let's get to Charger Vol. Charger Vol, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
What's up, man? We're good. How are you?
I'm doing good. My brother-in-law has already told me he's gotten his season tickets already. So apparently some, if not all, of season tickets have gone out. So I don't know how they're going to do this.
Yeah, man. If you've already gotten your tickets and you're told you can't use them, there's going to be some folks who are going to be upset. And you got to understand, like, this is just, some uncertain, unheard of times right now. So, but there's going to be some people who will be upset, who may, drop their season tickets out of emotion, and then probably renew them again next year. But like, I don't know how they're going to do a Charger Vol. Simply, I just don't get it, man.
Like I said, I don't know if, they're basing it on, like I said, I don't know if they've all went out. Like I said, I know he's gotten his, and maybe they go by who's had the tickets the longest, and they're getting their tickets first. I don't know.
Is your brother a big baller?
He's a alum, and he's had season tickets for several years. I mean, that's how I've gone the last 4 or 5 years I've gone with him.
There you
but like
go.
I said, I mean, he does the normal season tickets as far as his contribution every year. He's not over and beyond by no means.
Okay. I just wonder
the only thing I can think of maybe is how long you've had them, maybe, or how many season tickets are in each section, or whatever. I don't know.
I was wondering if your brother was your family's favorite uncle around Christmas time, because he gives
no.
Because he got the money, he giving out the best presents around Christmas time. I was just wondering how much money he was throwing at season tickets.
He pays his I think it's what, $2,500 or whatever the donation is to secure the seat. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I said, he's gotten his, and like I said, it's going to be crazy as far as some folks don't get theirs, or it could be bad, but folks can get over it too.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Chargerval, man. Thanks for the phone call. Thank you. The ticket man himself. You want to know about some tickets? TC in Athens is who you talk to. TC is on with us right now. TC, good morning.
And if you need some real estate in Athens, Georgia now.
That's right. If you want to move next to a Georgia fan, and I think there was one for what we did back in the day where a person, I think it was an ex-husband or ex-wife, moved in right next to their former significant other and built a wooden middle finger in their backyard.
Oh, my God.
So if you want TC to hook you up with some real estate in Athens, and we can build a wooden middle finger, and you can move right next to Kirby Smart, that'd be great. that'd be hilarious. TC will hook you up. He'll even waive his 3%, right, TC?
I need to check on the HOA on that middle finger thing. Let me get back to you. Hey, baby, I started yesterday. Got my first house under contract. Baby, already.
Good job, man. Congratulations, my friend. Happy for you.
Hey, I got $16,000 for sale on the 50-yard line if anybody needs them.
Hey.
So.
Might be some uncertainty there. I don't know how many buyers you're going to get on that one, TC.
Hey, I think the last caller may have misunderstood his brother-in-law or whatever it was he's talking about. Yeah, tickets have not gone out yet. They typically don't even send those to print until August. We typically get those about 2 to 3 weeks before the season actually starts. I think what he just misunderstood, the donations and the basically the ticket, paying for the tickets, that was a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And some people, they may be on a payment plan. Some people may have went ahead and paid it all off, whatever. But that was a few weeks ago. But as far as the tickets actually being printed and cut and sent out, no, that don't happen until August.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting, and I would imagine if they have to do it, that we'll just go by, basically, what everything in life is. Who gives the most money?
Man, I think that's the only way you got to do it, unless you're going to do a drawing.
Yeah,
a random drawing or something.
The Masters did like the Masters does, where they do a lottery every year.
Yeah, do a lottery and let Peyton Manning pick out the numbers. No one can get mad at Peyton. I can't go this year, but Peyton picked my number. Well, if Peyton picked it, it's okay then.
That's right. That's right.
No one can get mad at Peyton.
Yeah, that's right. But I just wanted to clarify, because I think he just may have misunderstood what his brother-in-law or whatever was saying. He probably paid for his tickets and renewed his tickets within the last few weeks. But as far as actually receiving his tickets, he won't get those till August at the earliest.
Yep. That makes sense. I remember now.
Yeah. All right, guys, just wanted to clarify that for your callers, man. Love you guys. Have a great day. I got to go sell some real estate.
Hey, man, check on that HOA guidelines for me, man. Make sure we can put that sign up next to Kirby Smart's house.
Hey, I found you and Ben the perfect place for y'all to go ahead and buy, so you'll have a place to stay when you come watch the Vols here in Athens.
Hey, man, when Tennessee start whooping that butt, man, we might have to look into that.
All right, guys, we'll see y'all.
See you.
I lived in Georgia for 2 years. I'm not going back.
You know, it can be just a rental property. We can rent it
And
out.
I lived in South Georgia.
No, I want to.
That was enough for me.
I want to be in Kirby Smart's neighborhood, and I want to get one of the houses next to him, and in the backyard we do like the couple did or the person did on For What a couple years ago, and
wooden middle finger.
Yeah, build a middle finger in the backyard. Yep. Or what you can do is play nonstop Rocky Top,
and put up Kevin Mays' pinky finger. Just build a wooden a wooden pinky finger.
That'd be awesome too. Or we can just play Rocky Top because I have a neighbor that plays music outdoors like 24/7. It doesn't bother me. I actually like it.
Kind of music?
It's everything, man. I mean, yesterday it was a little bit of country. It's everything, blues. It's everything, man. Not rap. Because they're a little bit older, but just relaxing outdoor music. It's pretty cool. It doesn't bother me one bit.
They're not bumping the Gucci Mane trap music?
No, they ain't bumping none of that stuff you listen to, Ben.
Oh, please. That's Mrs. Swain bumping in the house. You know she's from Atlanta, getting down to Gucci and T.I.
Yeah, she
and
is.
the Migos,
She
Taco
is.
Tuesday. I know y'all get down to the Migos Taco Tuesday song on Tuesdays.
I wouldn't say that. Here's the article about the middle finger. I got it right here. We put this on For What? This happened in Vermont. I'll share that with you when we come back from break. So this is what we can do. We need TC and Athens to hook us up with a house around Kirby Smart's neighborhood. We can put this up. It doesn't have to be right next door because, I mean, the size of this thing and how tall it is, I think Kirby will be able to see it from a couple miles away. 865-250-503. Be right back.
Guys are taking guesses. The Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. there are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. And guess what's hotter than Tennessee recruiting? That's right, the local real estate market. Things are still moving and shaking, so when you're buy, sell, or invest in real estate, and go Vols.
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
Eight 865-255-03 is our telephone number. Swain event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. They are selling face covers there, the checkerboard face cover, and then also I saw the Power T face cover. So that is available there at Alumni Hall. TC in Athens, one of our favorite guys, just got his real estate license in Athens, Georgia. Athens, Georgia. We could all bring our money together, get a house in Athens, and do what this gentleman did in Vermont. This gentleman in Vermont, this was in 2018. So this gentleman wanted to build on his property, essentially. He wanted to build a 8,000-foot square garage. He tried to get a permit through the Westford Select Board Development Review, and they basically said no. They blocked his efforts. And so he was upset about that. So what he did was he built a huge sculpture. It sits on top of a 16-foot pole. It is 700 pounds. It's a wooden middle finger sculpture on the front of his lawn to point directly at the review board. That's one article. And we had this on For What before too. We also had this other one on For What. And this is in Michigan, where a man bought a house next door to his ex-wife just to build this giant middle finger. This happened in Michigan. So the statue is $7,000. It's a bronze statue. The gentleman, he's a dance club entrepreneur. That's the business that he's in. So he has a lot of money, right? And so his ex-wife lives with her new boo. He got upset and he bought the house next door just to put that middle finger up. And it's spot lit too. It has lights on it, so at nighttime you can see the middle finger. That's what we should do in Athens. Ben, you up for it?
I'm down.
All right. If you're getting texts from your mom saying you better not do it, then just blame it all on me, okay?
My mom would go along with it.
You think she would? Okay, cool.
We lived in Georgia. Now, granted, it was Richmond Hill, Georgia, right outside of Savannah, so we weren't near Athens. But we dealt with our fair share of Georgia fans, just like we have dealt with our fair share of Alabama fans in our time living in Alabama. I guarantee you she would go along with it.
Yeah. I mean, we can kill two birds with one stone. We can support TC, support his business, and we can be a normal SEC fan, which is over-the-top trash talking. We can do that. I think that would be hilarious. 865-255-03. Man, this Cayman Marley, he's really intriguing. He's really intriguing. Really intriguing. Vault on the Street says, please tell us what the deal with yesterday's tweet about the head coach who is throwing shade at us now. Ben, you have that answer.
Talking about Coach Doug's?
Yeah. It's confused everybody. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, my dad called me last night to just see what I was up to and see how my day went. Just a normal conversation, but in the midst of our conversation, he did ask me, "Who is Coach Doug's?" I thought it was funny, but he did enjoy the concept once I informed him of what was going on. So essentially, to recap real quickly, there is a popular sports podcaster. I believe his real name, he goes by Big Cat, but his real name is Dan Katz, and he has 1 million followers on Twitter. He is the co-host of the Pardon My Take podcast on Barstool Sports. It's on Sirius XM and what have you. It's one of the most listened to sports podcasts in America. It's one of the just most listened to podcasts in general. But he got bored during the quarantine, fired up NCAA 14, took over as like Tulsa's or Toledo's head coach, and then became Florida State's offensive coordinator the next year, and then became Texas Tech's head coach. And then at the end of the Texas Tech season, he had job offers from Georgia, Tennessee, and California. He turned down the Georgia offer and accepted the Tennessee offer. So Coach, I think his first name is Gus Duggerton, is his coach on NCAA 14, who he has been playing with and made an account with. He's just been having fun during the quarantine, and all of his followers have gone along with it. And now that he is playing as Tennessee on the game, the Tennessee football Twitter account and some of its coaches, Brian Niedermeyer, the players have gone along with it as well. So it's just a virtual Tennessee head coach.
Go look at the mentions on Tennessee's football account.
I don't want to.
Go look at the mentions on those tweets from Tennessee football going along with this joke. It's hilarious. Wait, what happened to Pruitt? Only 2 years? I mean, golly. It's hilarious. Michael on the text box says TC is correct. Road ticket applications went out last week. I can tell you this straight from UT Athletic Department. The plan as of today is SEC is planning to limit stadiums to 55% of their seating capacity. UT's plan is to cut all ticket holder allotments in half, down to a minimum of 2. So an example, if you have 4, you only get 2. If you are a box holder and you get 8 instead of 16. Student allotment cut in half, visitor allotment cut down. So, and then Charger Vol came back and says must have understood because he had just got his tickets and was praying for the parking pass as I was talking to him. So he must have just paid for them. My bad, fellas. But speaking on footlong tailgaters. Oh my God, Titus Bill. Man, that call yesterday was something else. Joe in Augusta says, I'm in. He's 90 minutes from Athens. He will bring the tools and the work ethic.
How confused do you think Titans Bill is going to be when he finds out about Coach Doug's?
He's going to come in hot. He's going to come in hot like he did when he was calling ripping Tennessee for not hiring an offense coordinator. And Jim Chaney was hired like 2 days before.
Yes.
He was like, Tennessee needs to get their head out of their butt and use their head for something other than a hat rack. What are we doing? We haven't hired an OC yet. Oh, my goodness. And I was like, Titans Bill, Tennessee already hired Jim Chaney. Oh, well, that's good. It was hilarious, man. You just wait till he hears about Coach Duggerton, man. He's going to lose it. He's going to lose. It's going to be great.
Coach Doug's, who is that?
Oh, my gosh. Tennessee just can't keep a coach.
Now, I will say this. If you have seen Coach Doug's, he would enjoy a footlong in the back of a van.
Phrasing. 865-255-03. Let's go to the hotline this morning. Today Friday or today Thursday?
Thursday. It's Turn Up Thursday, baby.
Let's get to B-Rad. B-Rad, good morning.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, man?
Hey, one of the funniest things about that Coach Duggars, and I was talking to my dad the other day or yesterday, and he's like, "Did we have a coaching search?" And I didn't even know nothing about it. He said, "You know how hype we get about coaching searches around here."
Yeah, a bunch of people went to the airport. Staking out.
Hey, I had a question about this new recruit we got. Man, this guy flew in under the radar. I never even heard of this guy before. Has Austin Price talked about this guy or anything, or are you going to have Austin on pretty soon?
Yeah, we had him on yesterday. I got a feeling Austin had this video recorded for a couple of days, and he couldn't say anything. And this young man, so you have some players that, they'll be crystal balled and, because they can't keep their mouth closed. They don't keep their recruitment quiet. And so you pretty much know when a young man is going to commit and you know where he's going to go. And then you have others that just do it and no one really knows. And so Austin knew this one. And when the young man traveled to Knoxville, he was able to get an interview with him. And that's kind of what happened. I was not expecting this one either. There's some players that they don't want their stuff out. And as a coaching staff and as someone who covers recruiting, you have to respect that. You have to respect that. And Austin did a really good job of doing that. And he protected the young man's commitment and secret. And then it was time. So, yeah, that's why I flew under the radar, because I'm imagining that's the way this recruit wanted it handled. And so Tennessee and Austin did a good job of doing that.
He definitely likes to keep a low pro for dropping his commitment video at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and he's intriguing because he is 205. He listed as 205, but he's actually bigger than that. And he could play safety or linebacker, but I like those guys that go from safety to linebacker because you have that speed. And I think about guys like Roquan Smith that can cover tight ends, that can cover slot receivers, that's just really a freak at linebacker there at Georgia. And I like the idea of someone coming in and being a little bit undersized, but then building the strength and the muscle and the frame to be able to play the position, kind of like Darrell Taylor did when he came in, was like 220 and then built into a defensive end and never lost his explosiveness. I kind of see that here with Kamen Marley, and he's intriguing. He's pretty exciting to think about when you see him maybe playing linebacker for us.
All right, guys, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to be waiting for your tailgating segment on the last hour.
Oh, man. Titans Bill. Woo! Titans Bill. Rodney and Austin said he'll bring the messages. So he has those. Go ahead.
Is that for the wooden middle finger or the foot long in the back of the van?
No, it's for the furnishing our house, man, in Athens. It's for the house in Athens, Ben. That's what it's about. Miss Vol says the best part of Coach Doug's is that even Lane Kiffin made a comment on Twitter about not leaving after 1 year. Mo Vol 247 says, how much longer do you think T. Martin will stay at Tennessee? I don't look at T. Martin at Tennessee being a long-term thing because he wants to be a head coach. And I don't see him being the offense coordinator as long as Jim Chaney is here. I think T. Martin will have to leave to achieve his goals. So, yeah, I don't see T. Martin being a long-term thing here at Tennessee. T. Martin's
His
going to be
aspirations do not match what Tennessee has to offer.
correct, and I think for T. Martin, T was a player when Tennessee was at the top of college football, and I think it'd mean a lot to T as a coach to help get Tennessee back to that point. He may not be the head coach, but the satisfaction I think he's going to have saying, you know what, I helped my school get out of the dumps and be one of the best programs in the country. And he can feel good about that as he takes a different job that is in the direction of his goal. And then if opportunity arises in the future where there's a head coach vacancy, he can always come back home that way. That's what I see happening. But who knows? I may be wrong, but that's just kind of that's what I see lining up in future events for T. Martin. T. Diddy says need to move to Athens and buy that power tee from the mall on auction right now to put in our yard. Chip says, how will they police the social distancing inside the stadium? Because, you know, when UT scores a touchdown or anything we're celebrating, you know there's going to be some high fives and hugs everywhere. Yeah, that's gonna be a change for sure. It's going to be weird seeing a bunch of people in the stands elbow bumping after a touchdown. That's going to be weird. But you got to do what we got to do to have football.
Yeah, Janelle sent me a intriguing message. She asked, what about the band? And that is a good thought, because the band can't abide by social distancing rules in which they currently sit.
That's a good one.
They're going to have to – surely they allow the band, but they're going to have to spread them out. They won't have their one section in the corner of the end zone by the students. That's another thing. How are they going to manage allowing students to go to games? Surely the students are allowed a certain percentage of who's allowed.
Yeah, Michael said that the student allotment is going to be cut in half.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer drunk students going to the game. If you ain't drunk, you can't go.
We'll have a breathalyzer. Okay? We'll have a breathalyzer set up outside of the stadium, outside of the student gate, and if
can't be
their
below
blood alcohol level isn't a certain point, then they can't come in.
If it's too low, you can't come in. It got to be between this number, that number. It can't be too high, and it can't be too low. It got to be just right. Kind of like Three Little Bears, the porch. It got to be just right. Just right. We need that blood alcohol content to be just right. We need you loud and proud, but we don't need you sloppy, where you like falling down the steps and stuff.
You're asleep.
Yeah, we can't have you passing out. You are no help. So we need drunk fans who are loud. That's what we need. So let's set that up. Let's set that up. Absolutely. For the students. And hey, there will be a hydration table. So if your blood alcohol is not high enough, we got shots. Shots. We're gonna bring in Pitbull to give the students shots to get their BAC up. Bring in Pitbull. That's right. Georgia got Luda, we got Pitbull, baby. Ow!
You know Pitbull didn't sing that song.
I don't care.
It was LMFAO and Little John, who we are already friends with.
It sounds like something Pitbull would sing.
It's Little John, who we already have a relationship with.
Lil John, he's a Georgia fan. We already know that.
Well, we transformed him.
Volstorm says, under that criteria, I'll go as a student. Volstorm showing up just like a student. Yeah, I'm in Phi Kappa Phi. I'm a fraternity member. Yes. That was me. We did the UT butt chug. That was my fraternity. Look, give me my ticket. Former's ball spot on the text box. My goodness, man. Where's the show going? How are they going to police social distancing in the stadium? Was that guy kidding? Screw social distancing. Come on, guys. The number of people who have fallen for this is unbelievable. Oh, my goodness. I ain't going there.
You can think it's right or wrong to social distance. They're still going to social distance.
Yeah. Yeah. If you don't want to abide by it, please respect everybody else's wishes to abide by it. So I'm not going there. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. Anyways, Cayman Marley. Did you watch a little bit of his film? Because it kind of pops up when you go to his profile. You know, his highlight film kind of pops up. You can kind of see some of the plays that he's making there at Eastern Randolph. Have you checked out any of his plays?
Yeah, I did this morning.
Yeah, man.
Always around the football.
Yeah, he gonna be a good one now. I mean, he's rated high. He's rated as an athlete, and I understand that category. I'm not gonna get off on a tangent talking about athletes rated there on the recruiting sites like I did with dual threat quarterbacks, because athletes are guys you just like they play multiple multiple positions, and you just don't know what position they're going to play at the next level, so you put them as an athlete. I totally get it. I understand that one. But not dual threat quarterback. I don't get that one. I don't get that one at all. I really don't. 865-255-03 is our number. What you laughing at now?
Just everything. We've gone from talking about a wooden middle finger.
Yes. I think it's a good idea.
A foot long in the back of a van.
No, you keep talking about that. You keep bringing that up from Titans.
No, the text box brought it up. The text box brought it up.
Golly.
To also talking about students needing to be a certain level of drunk to enter the stadium.
I think that's a good idea, Ben.
And I still feel like I'm missing something.
I think that should be something that we enforce moving forward. Like even when we don't have to social distance as much, and this is a thing in the past, that needs to be something we keep with us. We need Inland Stadium to be loud. I mean loud. Now, I know the product on the field needs to be better, and that's part of it. But, we typically have a older fan base at those games. Mm-hmm. I think there needs to be a window of your BAC to be able to get in. We got to check it. If you're a student, for sure. Like, if you're a student, come on now. It's Saturday. You ain't studying. Let's go. Take these shots. Come on now.
Shots.
That's right.
Everybody.
That's right. Cashville Vol says UNC trying to say he wasn't a take and we didn't steal one from them. This is like one of my favorite things about recruiting is when a player from whatever state he lives in picks a school out of state, and then that in-state school or the fan base says, he didn't really want him anyways. He wasn't a take. We do it too. Now, we do it all the time. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. Like sometimes we really did want that kid. Yeah, we really wanted the kid that went to Auburn from Chattanooga.
Jay Hardy.
We really wanted Jay Hardy. Yeah, we really wanted him.
Who shall not be named.
You just
named traitor.
You
liar.
You just named him though. But like we really wanted him. He just didn't want to come here. Cool, whatever, that happens. And then there's other circumstances where like a Grimes, who's like a 5-star there in the mid-state. We didn't want him.
Reggie Grimes.
Yeah, we didn't want him. And he went outside the state. So I think it's hilarious that there's North Carolina fans that truly will let this come out of their mouth that the 8th best player in North Carolina and the 5th best athlete in the country, a top 150 player, they didn't want. Okay. Okay. If you say so. I think it's hilarious. So he gonna put that video up. He gonna spend all that time making that highlight video, that commitment video, put North Carolina in it, when North Carolina didn't want him the whole time, really. So he just made up that fake interest. So a school that's not interested at all, and then a school who is very interested, he gonna put that in the commitment video just because? Really? Okay. 865-255-03. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit, you get confused, you don't understand why, you start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what here on the Swain event. I think this is a sports show. I don't know right now. Ben, what do we have for what?
The DM that you received?
Man, Jason from up there in Pennsylvania, I think he's punking me. I really think he is punking me, man. I think he's really punking me. But I'm giving a for what to Paul Pierce.
Yes.
I'm giving him for what to Paul Pierce. I mean, my goodness. Paul Pierce is this is according to CBSSports.com. Paul Pierce spent a decade battling LeBron James. The two met in the postseason 4 times. Both needed to get through the other in order to win their first championship. On Wednesday, he gave his list of the top 5 players in NBA history. Michael Jordan earned the number 1 spot, with Kareem, Bill Russell, Magic Johnson, and Kobe rounding out the 5. And he left off LeBron James. While explaining his decision on ESPN's NBA Countdown, arguing that James never did anything to build up any organization from the ground. He says Bill Russell built up that organization in Boston. He should get way more credit than we give him. A lot of times he's left out of the conversation. So in saying that, Kareem, look at some of the names I said. Kareem, Magic Jordan, Tim Duncan, Kobe, Bird. These guys are all top 10 players who either helped build their organization or continue the tradition. As for LeBron, Pierce looks down on him for building super teams. He went and put together a team in Miami, and in some ways, he came back to Cleveland to put that team together. And then he went to the Lakers, where a tradition was already made. And we don't know. That's to be continued. Wait a minute. But you just said that props to Kareem, Magic, and Jordan, Tim Duncan, Kobe, and Bird, who helped build up their organization or continued the tradition. But right after that, you said that you're dinging him for going to a place where tradition is already made. What? Huh? But this is why Paul Pierce gets my for what. This is why he gets my for what. Ben, I don't know if you remember this or not. I'm going to ask you anyways, because I'm going to give you the chance to slam dunk this one. If you can't slam dunk it, you can just pass it back. I got you, Ben. This is what teammates are for. One Swain event. So I'm throwing you the oop. You can throw it back to me if you can't slam it. Do you remember who was on Paul Pierce's teams? And who was on Paul Pierce's team when he won an NBA championship with the Boston Celtics?
The only one I care about is Tony Allen, but Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen was also on that team.
Correct. Now, Paul Pierce did win the Finals MVP, but I mean, that sounds like a super team to me. They went out, they got KG. They went out, they brought in Ray Allen. They built a super team around Paul Pierce. What's the problem, Paul Pierce? You did the same thing as LeBron. The only difference is LeBron left on his own because management was not capable of putting a good team around him. They were terrible. So he left on his own and joined an organization that did that. He wasn't lucky enough to have Danny Ainge as a GM. Danny Ainge is an awesome GM for the Boston Celtics. So I'm giving Paul Pierce a for what? For being a hypocrite. And here's a really, 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 really awkward story. It's not a laughing matter at all, but I think we can throw it right here during for what. But a former Oregon recruit signee, Luke Hill, was arrested on 8 different charges. This happened Tuesday. One of those charges includes attempted murder in the first degree.
He's a current player?
Signee.
Oh, my word. A signee? He's a senior in high school? Or just graduated?
You signee. Yeah.
Wow.
The 8 charges that are listed against Hill are as follows: attempted loaded handgun on person, possession of a firearm by a minor, use of an assault weapon, use of a firearm, attempted first-degree murder, reckless endangerment, and first-degree assault, according to the arrest records. What happened? Oh boy. This kid was a 195th overall player in the 2020 recruiting class. He was a 15th overall cornerback, and the Oregon Ducks landed his commitment over Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Michigan, and other schools. So Basically, what happened, he tried to pull a drive-by on his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Is what happened.
Oh, boy.
Drive-by shooting at a Rhode Island basketball recruit who was dating the gunman's ex. Luke Hills is from Temple Hills, Maryland. My goodness. You're going to go to Oregon, and there's going to be new ladies there. There's going to be more fish in the sea there.
Probably better options, too, if you're a good football player.
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not worth throwing your whole life over. It's not worth it, man. There's other good-looking ladies probably in Oregon that wear Nike. So the Nike part doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw that in. Let's go back to the phones this morning. And let's bring in our guy, Volstorm. Yes, it's been a while.
Have to.
Volstorm, Ben, you better respect your elders, man. Volstorm is a legend. We miss Volstorm. Good morning, Volstorm.
Boys, it is not about the Steve Gates going to say, if you can't blow a .14, you can't come in the dough.
That's right. That's right. Take these shots. Get your weight up.
Guys, what's happened to the show here in the past couple months? I mean, we got Andy taking credit for the recruit class, saying he's making moves on Twitter. We got Tight Bill trying to lure young Ben into the back of his van to see his hot dog. I mean, it's total anarchy.
I don't know what's going on, man. I don't take responsibility. I don't care if my name is on the show. I don't take responsibility.
Hey, do what everybody else does. Just blame COVID.
That's what I'm doing, man. Or youth and experience. Or the fact that, I haven't taken a plane flight in a while. Gotta blame it on.
You hadn't taken a plane flight.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna be taking a plane flight in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on a plane. You remember the 2016 excuse that Butch used? I haven't been on a plane. So I use that one too. That's the reason why the show has went in this direction. I don't understand. Or I fell on the helmet.
Oh my goodness!
I go with that one.
At least you got a better producer now.
My producer is pretty awesome now. She is awesome.
Tell you what, better bumper music, so much nicer on the phone. I don't have to listen to the church lady over there.
I can agree with that, man. I can agree with that.
Hey, I think what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up all these people that had to send in money for tickets and donations, and I include myself in that. They're going to end up they're probably going to end up sending the money back for the tickets and keeping the donations.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see Tennessee giving money back. That don't even sound right. That don't sound right, man. Volstorm, we got to run, man. At the top of the hour break.
Hey, one more thing before I go. Since Ben is on the Jarrett Garantano diet, I'm the only one that could support him in a trust fall. See you, boys!
Oh man, 865-255-03. I feel like I'm being punked. I think I'm a victim of a punked scheme. I think Ben McKee is behind it. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Hour 3 here in the Swain event, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Ben, the phrase young and dumb is, it's a real thing. We've all done things that, looking back at it now, we would say, "Oh man, that was dumb. I can't believe I did that." I was just young and dumb. This young man, Luke Hill, like, reading the details here. So this young man called his ex-girlfriend and was threatening her about her current relationship with the new boyfriend. The victim told the police that he was playing basketball when he observed the suspect in a white older vehicle with tint start shooting at him. The victim's mother told police she was pulling into her driveway when she heard the shots. Police said that they recovered 7 .40 caliber shell casings from the street, that the victim's house was struck twice by gunfire. A neighbor's security camera recorded Hill's 2004 Acura fleeing the scene. After arresting Hill, police served a search warrant at his house and found 3 firearms in a secret compartment in his closet, one which had an extended magazine with 22 .40 caliber rounds of ammunition. The caliber of handgun that was located in the defendant's bedroom is the same caliber as the fired shell casings recovered from the crime scene of the shooting. Oregon's spokesperson is Jimmy Stanton, who was the same Jimmy Stanton was at Tennessee before. They told Hill, you will not be joining the Ducks this season. This is crazy. This is crazy, Ben. Over a girlfriend?
Yeah. No significant other is worth going through this much trouble.
You going to his house? Shooting up his house, and his mom is like, this is crazy.
Yeah, shooting up somebody's house while the mother is inside over a significant other. Nobody is worth that.
That is unheard of, man. That's so scary. That is so scary. That girl cannot break up with the boyfriend now. She can't do it.
Nope.
Like he has a lifelong past. I almost got shot for you. Can't break up with me. Serious, man. No. Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals. How we doing?
Great. How are you, Turkey Man?
I'll tell you what, I feel like we're back on track and having a little life. We had fun with little Jesse. You remember what's this?
Yeah, I remember little Jesse.
We had a hoot with that. We all got in, and then of course Coach You guys probably, you're not going to remember this. You're not even heard of this situation. I'm going to tell you. But back when Johnny Majors was coach on Saturdays, we listen to the radio of the opponent. He'd be on like a call-in type show in there, and we had Leonard's Losers. We'd be on that, and we'd listen to it. But there was a made-up coach. The guy was brilliant, and he was from Clyde College, and they'd have time for him to talk about his opponent, and I think his name was John Bob Parker or something like that, Coach Parker, and it was making a little bit light of Johnny Majors. I mean, it's in that direction, I guess, and it was fun. And he'd always talk about his quarterback, and he'd talk about his wide receiver, and the colors was black and blue for tight possible. But anyhow, it was fun. It was fun. We looked forward to it. I did. I looked forward to it. I'd laugh, and I'm enjoying this that we're laughing about now, because I think we need it, especially in this time of what we're going through, to be able to laugh and get kind of back to normal. So anyhow, that's my 2 cents, and it was good to hear Vol Storm. I was wondering if I needed to send flowers. I hadn't heard from him in a day or two, but I see him on Twitter, so I knew he's still there. And I'll talk to you later. And
see you,
God bless you, and have a good one.
See you, Turkey Man. Yeah, it's good to hear from old Vol Storm.
No, it's not.
It is good to hear from Vol Storm, man. He ain't throw any shade to you.
Yes, he did twice.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, of course you didn't. You like to play favorites. I will tell you this, Turkey Man. You'll be since you mentioned Leonard's Losers, real quick. I have been working with one of my good friends, George Yardley, over the last 2 or 3 years. He bought the rights to Leonard's Losers. Leonard's Losers was very popular back in the day on the radio, as Turkey Man mentioned. My mom grew up listening to Leonard's Losers. Leonard would go through each week and pick the losers for the top upcoming college football games each week. And my buddy George Yardley, who I mentioned, who is the PA announcer at Smoky Stadium, bought the rights or the copyright title or whatever, and has been redoing them, and I've been helping him produce those each and every week. So this football season, Turkey Man, you'll have to keep an eye out for the new revamped Leonard's Losers.
You name dropping?
No, not really.
I'm messing with you, man.
Coming from the person who 15 minutes into the show said, "Oh, I texted somebody who was way up on 247."
Just adding context, man. Just adding context. That's all. That's all. I think people wanted to hear that there was some dialogue with 247 people. I mean, everyone had jumped to these conspiracy theories about the rankings, and that's why they listen, Ben. They listen for us to clear things up for them.
That's right.
That's all I
I'm
did,
just
Ben.
picking at you.
That's all I did.
I know. I'm just picking.
I'm glad that you was able to explain Turkey Man's call for everybody. So thank you for that, Ben.
I'm sure there are people out there who know what Leonard's Losers are. Yeah. It was before our time, Swain. One of the few popular things that came before both you and I.
Yeah. Vol fans, we shouldn't say too much about Luke Hill. He is a teammate of one of our incoming freshmen and 2 of our current commits. I don't care. Dude tried to shoot up somebody's house, or did shoot up somebody's house. I'm not that big of a sheep. I'm not that biased. I don't care. Period. 865-255-03 is our telephone number. So you mentioned the DM I got from Jason. I seriously think I'm being punked here. I'm being punked. Because this is I'm not going to read verbatim what Jason sent me here. And I'm surprised Jason would do this to me because we have the same first name. I just spell mine just a little bit better, but we got the same first name. This should not be Jason on Jason crime, but here we are. Ben, I sent you the message.
You did.
You think Jason is trolling me?
No. I think he is being serious.
I hope he is trolling me. So, to lay down some context here, Jason called in yesterday, or day before yesterday. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday?
Yes. Dude, I don't know. All my days run together.
I know, right? It wasn't today. It was one of the days that was before today, all right? Yesterday,
one of the days that ended in Y.
Exactly. So he called in, and we were having the conversation the day before about the best returning SEC quarterback. And we said Kyle Trask, kind of by default because so many guys left, and it's supposed to be Kellen Mond, Texas A&M, but he didn't play well last year. And it's supposed to be Jared Garantano, two guys who are upcoming seniors. It's supposed to be those two guys, but they've had, bumps in the road during their career. Kyle Trask was the best out of the three last season. So, of course, he's the best returning one. Jason called in, and he did not agree. He thought it was either Kellen Mond or Jared Garantano. And I just couldn't go along with that. I know he's our quarterback, and I hope that he has a great year and he has a awesome finish to his career. He deserves an awesome finish. But I'm not saying that he's the best returning quarterback right now in the SEC. You sure Jason's not trolling me before I go further?
I'm pretty sure he's not.
So my man Jason sent me a message this morning before the show started, about 13 minutes before the show started. I think he was trying to throw me off before the show. Jason says, number one dual-threat quarterback returning in all of college football is JG. That is a fact. Go look at the Kentucky game last year and take that for data, is what he told me. The number one, number two dual-threat quarterbacks in college football is number one, Trevor Lawrence, number two, Justin Fields.
Or 1A, 1B.
To me, it's one and two. I can't. Trevor did it the moment he stepped on campus on the biggest stage at Clemson. Justin Fields did it last year, so I go 2 years of Trevor Lawrence, 1 year of Justin Fields.
Yeah, but you got to think, Swaino. Trevor Lawrence did not have to deal with racism like Justin Fields did in Athens, Georgia, with the Georgia Athletics Department.
Yeah, that's true.
Justin Fields had to battle racism during his time in Athens as a Georgia Bulldog.
I'm pretty sure
Trevor Lawrence did not have to deal with that in Clemson.
I'm pretty sure Trevor Lawrence had to deal with people with his long hair confusing him for someone else. I'm pretty sure he had to deal with. I'm pretty sure he had to deal with that. Looking like a handsome brother. I'm pretty sure he had to deal with some bullying and things like that. So for me, it's 1 and 2. It's not 1A, 1B. I think Trevor has done a little bit more for longer than Justin Fields. And honestly, man, Justin Fields, this may sound crazy. Justin Fields has more talent around him than Trevor Lawrence. My goodness, Ohio State. It built like a SEC team. 865-255-03. We will take a quick timeout. Be back after this.
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners. Financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do.
Ben McKee, Jason Swain here. The Swain event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue, and Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. I think this is a sports show. I think so. I think we're just having a little bit of fun. That's all I'm saying. Cashville Vol in the text box says, rumors is that Tennessee's latest commit, Cayman Marley, has academic issues. This is also added to the rumor that North Carolina didn't want him. And I confirmed this. And he's academically on solid ground. And North Carolina did want him. So this is a example of sour grapes from North Carolina. That's all it is. North Carolina is sour. And I hope it's just a couple of fans started that on a message board. I hope that's not what was created by North Carolina's coaching staff. I hope. Because sometimes the coach staff can get, blamed for that when the fans are the one who drums that stuff up on the message board. But I really hope that that's what happened. Because that just didn't make sense to me. He's one of the top players in the state. He's a guy that can play multiple positions. And on his commitment video, he had North Carolina as like his top 2. That would make him look really bad putting North Carolina in that commitment video if they didn't really want him. I think that would have been silly. So,
you know what I've realized during this quarantine?
Do you really want me to answer that?
Yes.
That it's time for you to shave it all off at the top and go bearded and bald.
And buff.
Yeah, we got some work to do on that.
Yeah, we do. No, the fact that people outside of Knoxville, outside of the Tennessee fan base, truly hate Tennessee.
I love it.
I love it too.
I love that. Like, I want to be hated like Duke basketball fans and Patriot fans, and Bama fans. I want to be hated like those. I want to be hated because I want to win. Does anyone outside of like Tennessee fan base hate Vanderbilt fans?
No.
Does anyone outside the Clemson fan base hate South Carolina fans?
No.
Does anyone outside the Ole Miss fan base hate Mississippi State? Does anybody hate Kentucky? Except for maybe
Yes.
Louisville.
Well,
in Indiana.
fans and
Indiana and Louisville.
Duke.
But, like, I want to be hated by everybody.
Everybody.
Because if you hated by everybody, that means you're winning. Like, everyone hates Ohio State. When that stuff was going on with Urban Meyer and Zach Smith, everyone was railing on Ohio State. Why? Because
everybody hates Ohio State.
Because they're good. That's why. They were winning. That's why. I want that hate. I want hate by everybody. That's when you know you're doing something good. In sports. That's what I want. We keep recruiting like this, man. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Oklahoma throwing a little bit of shade outside the conference. I like that. I like it. It's gonna get real. It's gonna be real funny when Tennessee hits that 25 number mark, and then they get commitment number 26. People gonna be looking around like,
That group chat is gonna get real awkward real quick.
Man, you ever been like at the airport and you've been waiting, like your connect flight where you had a layover of like 2 hours, all right? So you're sitting in the airport, you got your phone plugged in. That's when you know you've been in the airport way too long. You got to plug your phone in, right? So you're sitting there, you're on your phone, got it plugged in. You've been on a 2-hour layoff, and then the person that's at the at the gate is like, attention, we overbooked this flight, and we are looking for volunteers to take the next flight, and we will be providing a voucher and $500 in the next flight. And everyone's looking around like, it ain't me. I'm going home today. Yeah, I ain't doing it.
Everybody's looking around like that little chunky kid holding the cup in his hand.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. I mean, I know that voucher sounds good, but I'm trying to get home. I'm tired. I ain't sitting in here anymore. And everybody's looking around like, it's going to be you? It ain't going to be me. I think about that when Tennessee get to 26 commitments. Like, hey, somebody ain't going to be here in this group chat.
As Kevin Hart once said, somebody's got to go.
Somebody is on their way out. Oh, man. Oh, man. I got to stop laughing so loud, man. My stomach going to be hurting for the rest of the day.
How does that work? How does you laughing hard equate to your stomach hurting the rest of the day?
Well, you know the expression like comedians use, I'm not going to say it because I can see where it can be taken. I ain't going to say it. I ain't going to do it. But yes, when you laugh a lot, man, your stomach does hurt, man. That's all I'll say.
I've never heard that one before.
Well, it's a real thing.
It's a thing.
And maybe you haven't just laughed a lot before, Ben. Are you not happy in your life, Ben?
No.
Is this something we need to talk about with you?
For 3 hours.
That probably explains it. I laugh all the time, man, especially when you on your Pittsburgh Steelers takes. It gives me great comedic relief. I laugh all the time.
My takes are realistic.
I'm messing with you, man. Oh my God. Fans, leave 247 alone.
It's not going to happen.
No. Leave them alone. Go plant a garden like me.
There's things you can do. Go leave 247 alone. It doesn't matter that they dropped a few kids in the rankings. Guess what it's going to do? It's going to make the kids work harder. This is good for us. This is good. Drop him down. Drop him to a 2-star for all I care. Pruitt wants him. Cool, let's roll. Drop him to a 2-star so he can be upset and go work out. Drop him to a 2-star. Oh, nope, can't play Fortnite. Nah, man, 247. They disrespecting me. I gotta prove them wrong. Great. We're gonna benefit from that. Those players are gonna be good. They're gonna work hard. Awesome. Great. My man Walker Merrill. Remember we had him on? And that's fueling him. Cool. I love that. When I was in those guys' shoes and I was a 4-star, I wanted to be a 5-star. It motivated me. I used to give Brent Hubbs crap when he called me. As a recruit, I used to give him crap. Get Brent Hubbs on the show right now. He'll tell you. I used to give him crap about not being a 5-star. ESPN had your boy at a 5-star. I liked ESPN better then. But the rankings just don't matter right now. They don't matter. Speaking of recruiting, we got Andy calling in. Andy, good morning.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, Andy?
Well, we bunch of us fans is going off on 24/7 because
why?
And it's not. The point is, it's not even about these Tennessee players. It's every kid and everyone. They have the crappiest explanations that they can come up with. And I told them, I said, well, if you can't do your job more accurately, then you don't deserve to be in that position. How does Dylan Brooks get dropped, and then Terrence Lewis goes from a 5 to a 4, all because of they can't go to camp? To me, that's not fair to these kids that are getting rated not accurately. How do you feel about it? Because now we got all kinds of fans on Twitter, literally, and we got him to answer, and he don't know what to think about it. We're like, well, you're the one that done this, so you're going to have to deal with fans jumping down your throat now because of what you're doing. These kids want an explanation, and they deserve it.
I would tell them go get the work. That's what I would tell them. I think they can use it as motivation, and they can be a better player. But I'll answer your question, and Bart Simmons is one of the best in the business, Andy. Bart Simmons played ball. He played college football, and he's one of the guys that I really I don't agree with everything because, like, who in life do you agree with 100% of the time? There's nobody that you agree with 100% of the time. So I don't agree with Bart all the time, but I respect Bart more than I respect a lot of guys in this business because Barton played the game and he puts in the time to rate kids. I reached out, Ben, you keep your mouth closed on this one. I reached out to someone at 247 yesterday to get an answer about some of the guys dropping in their rating. And the overall class for Tennessee actually improved, but in the case of Dylan Brooks, they kind of reclassified his position, and when they did that, he dropped a star. But he is still one of the top players at his position. Now, he went from like maybe the number one player in the state to the second best player in the state, but he's still number one at his position. So really, Andy, just really doesn't matter that much. I know they didn't go to camp, but they didn't change the rankings because of camp. What they did was they went back, they looked at a lot of film, they talked to other coaches, right? So they talked to other coaches, and they got feedback from other coaches, and they looked at some testing times here and there, and they just moved them a few spots. It's not worth getting up and
these dudes mentions and getting all hot and bothered about the rankings. I just don't think it's worth it.
Well, there was just a couple of fans that had tagged 24/7 last night, and he replied. And a lot of us feel that his explanation was just not very accurate or smart. One of my buddies called Get Bent Ball on Twitter. He was like, he asked him a question, and so he called me and he's like, that was the most baloneyest answer that he could have ever come up with. I'm like, yeah, I agree. But, we're never going to win that battle. And the point is, I don't even worry about rankings. But when you got kids wanting to know, then they deserve to know an explanation. That's why, Pruitt, he don't care about rankings. Because, for one, it's bullhawks anyway. Really.
So you speaking on behalf of the players when you reaching out to 247? You like the player's agent?
What do you say?
No, you said you didn't care about the rankings, but the kids deserve to know. And so I was asking you if you were like speaking on behalf of the kids, like you were reaching out to the 247 folks to get an explanation for them, but not for yourself. That's what I was wondering.
Well, yeah, for both. I mean, I wanted to know exactly what the reason was, but it's about these kids. These kids
gonna be all right,
that want a better future, that, want to get to the NFL, that want to get more offers, because at the end of the day, you got some kids out here that are trying to get, better offers, but then the stars help a lot. Now, not every university is like Tennessee, that will take a 3-star. But that's the difference in our staff and others. You can take a 3-star and it could be a 5 and you not even know it. Just like a real good example, Javonte Spraggins. All these other universities said, he was a fat boy. He couldn't move. But guess what? He wore our coaches out when he came to camp.
Correct.
And that's when he got that offer, and of course he committed. Well, what these other coaches don't understand, Javonte Spraggins is a kid out of St. Louis, and it is a mauler. He calls himself a gorilla, and he knows it, because he knows he's nasty. He's a strong, big kid that will take you to town wherever he wants you to.
Andy, I got much love for how you love Tennessee. I really do. I just don't agree with getting at the 247 guys about these rankings. I think it's a waste of energy. You mentioned that the kids want to get to the league. They want to do this and they want to do that. These rankings are not stopping them. The number one thing that's going to help them get to the league is get to work. The rankings have nothing to do with that. And schools,
a lot of people take 24/7.
Schools,
a lot of people did.
Schools don't fall for the whole. Well, this school, offered them, so we're just going to offer them. Or this kid has a 3-4 star, so we're just going to offer them based on that. That's something that happened a couple of years ago. Schools are evolving and paying more attention to the tape. That used to be a thing, but that's necessarily not the case, especially in this conference with the big boys.
I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Now, my understanding is we've only got one more spot left.
We got more than one more.
How many do we have?
We have plenty. And
20 spots left?
We have plenty. Like 6, 7 in that range.
Oh, because some people had said there was only like 24 commits you could only have. I'm like, okay.
25 is the SEC limit there for scholarships, for adding those. Yeah, 25 is the SEC kind of the rule.
I know they're going after Small Munden. I know they're going after Amarius Mims. And I know they're trying to get Peyton Page.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get Tony Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Which got a good feeling that we have a very good chance at it. But I didn't know if there was that many spots for that to happen.
There's spots. No, there's spots, Andy. And thank you so much for the phone call. The number you see, the 22 that you see Tennessee, the commitments that Tennessee has, you can't really pay attention to that number because 23 hard commitments. There's more than 2 spots available. So,
do you have a soundbite of a round of applause?
Yeah, why?
Hit it. Andy just went 10 minutes of ranting and raving without cussing.
That's pretty good.
Way to go, Andy.
But I think he wasted that though. He could have did it another time on something that was more important than some recruiting rankings.
Well, when you are the recruiting coordinator for Gus Duggerton, those things matter.
I guess. I mean, I'm looking at Barton Simmons, and the thing I respect about Barton is like he'll answer your questions. I mean, he's transparent. He'll tell you like, "Yo, this is why I did what I did, or this is what we did." And he's saying 40 spots is not a dramatic move, and I guess he's talking about Dylan Brooks. He says he goes from being in the 99th percentile of FBS prospects to being in the 98th percentile of FBS prospects. They took a deeper look at the class, a deeper look at the film, add more context, compare more profiles, and gather more information. Within that process, there are a few players that we feel deserve to be higher at this stage. We still love Brooks. Again, it ain't that serious. You went from a 5-star to a borderline 5-star. I hope Dylan Brooks get upset about it. Go lift weights. Go work on Aaron Donald workout. Have you seen Aaron Donald workout?
Yes.
Oh
nice.
my gosh. Go do what Aaron Donald is doing right now. Get upset, get bothered, go work out and train. Cool. I like it. I like when high school players are a star's taken away from them. It adds motivation. This is what we thrive off of. We thrive off proving people wrong. We thrive off of haters. We thrive off of doubters. This is what pushes us. I love it. Michael Jordan had to make up stuff to motivate him. He was killing the NBA. No one was close to him. He's the greatest player of all time, greatest scorer of all time. And he would make up stuff to motivate him, to prove people wrong. Nick Saban's the same way. He just drums up stuff. This is what competitors do, so I like it. Let me get to the phones. Let me get to Tremel. Tremel, good morning.
Yo.
What's up, Tremel?
What to do, man?
What's up, LeBron?
LeBron James.
You know what? Anyway. And then you had to decide to look Jordan little taking that real quick before you I was on the phone.
Nah, man. I threw in Nick Saban and Jordan because they are two guys at the top of their game, and we have current examples of them doing that. That's the only reason I did that, Tremaine. I didn't try to do that to you.
Dang. You think you slick, though, man.
No, I didn't. I'm telling you. You
be setting them little handful of, what is it? Breadcrumbs for people, don't you?
I didn't do that this time, Tremaine. I would tell you if I did. I didn't.
Not to me.
Oh, you mean like little hints here and there?
No, you be setting people up for the antidote.
No, I didn't do that, Tremaine.
Man.
I don't know what you talking about.
Why y'all be doing my man Andy like that, man?
I didn't do anything anyway. I'm not going to let Andy come on here and just me agree with everything he's saying. Come on now, Tremaine. He ain't going to do that.
I ain't talking about that either.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the little agent thing that you try to slide in there.
The what?
The agent.
No, Andy said that he doesn't care about the ratings, but he's the one giving the guys the business on social media. So if he doesn't care about them, then why is he doing it? You can't just come on, Shamel. You just can't be saying.
I don't care about the rankings, man. Like just a week. Are we a week removed from seeing the 3 stars that we got? That we got great coaches that evaluate well and all this and that, right?
Yeah. So exactly.
Like, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. So
our coach just said yesterday, or I think the day before yesterday, one of these days. I get all my days mixed up. That he feels like we have the best coaches, the best talent evaluators, all this and that and that. And, that was like, oh yeah, we do. I was just getting, I was getting crunk every time, every little sentence I read. But we do have the best talent evaluators, the best coaches, in the country, as I believe. So I could care less 247. Would you rather 247 evaluate your these cats that's coming to our school, or would you rather the coaches that evaluating them and giving them these scholarships? Like you just said, Andy.
That's my point.
Francis was just a guy that nobody wanted, but our coaches wanted him.
That's my point.
I'm with you. We in the same boat. We preach it to the choir together.
Yeah, Shamel, remember a couple of days ago, I was like, how do we sit here and say Pruitt is one of the best evaluators and applaud him for his ability to, look for talent and then get upset at the guys that's dropping ratings? Well, that don't make any sense. Let them drop the ratings because we are confident in our coaching staff ability to evaluate talent. So why are we bothering the guys doing the rankings?
I look at it like this, man. Like with the little kids that's in my little cities, and these are just young kids. You feel me? These are just little kids, and it's talent all over the city. Trying to evaluate those kids and then just thinking about that in a bigger radius, the whole country, these people can't really get around to see all these kids. I mean, again, I brought this up the last time we had some type of argument like this, but wasn't a guy made himself a whole profile?
Yeah. A kid from Knoxville did it. Yeah, a kid from Knoxville did it.
I'm good. Everybody else should be good. Y'all leave these people alone, man. Let them do their job.
I'm with you.
Alone, man.
I'm with you, Shamel. Thanks so much for the phone call. I think we're looking at it all wrong. Don't be upset at the evaluators. Be happy that we have players that's going to use it as motivation. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm going to hype him up even more. Yeah, man. And he said that you wasn't going to start when you come to Tennessee. And he said you're not going to be that good at Tennessee. You got to prove him wrong. Get in the backyard and run some sprints. I'm hyping you up to work even harder. Yeah. Yeah, ESPN, Rivals, and 247 don't believe in you. Prove them wrong. Come on. I love it. All right, we got to take one more call, then we got to go to break. Let's get to Tony in Kingsport. Tony, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, Tony?
I'm just going to be real quick on this. What I really want to see is he take that and turn it into tackling fuel. And
boom.
Look at it like this. I want to see him take every game with this, you drop me in rating, fine. And he turns into Jefferson from Fast Time when they broke his car.
Yes.
That's what I want to see.
Yes.
So the ratings don't matter. Cam Sutton was a 3. Look at him now. Stop worrying about the rating. Worry about the talent that's going to be out there and then putting in the work.
That's what matters.
I want everybody to underestimate it. I want them to think, oh, we're going to run over Tennessee. Next thing you know, they're walking around looking like Martin after he got hit by Tommy Hearns. So I know I'm doing a lot of references, but that's how I'm feeling today.
Or Will Smith in Hitch.
That's what I want to say. I agree with Tramel. I agree with you guys. Just stop worrying about the rating. Because at the end of the day, there have been 5-star. Like I was looking at a list of Bryce Brown was a 5-star. He didn't do much for us. He even transferred. So it doesn't really matter. Just be happy that we got people that want to come here and want to develop.
Correct.
And I'll leave it on that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Like, if there was a seriously conspiracy theory, let's call them out. Let's talk about it. Cool. That's fine. If there was a legit conspiracy theory, or a legit conspiracy, let's call them out. I'm cool with that. Let's do it. But come on now, it's not one here. There's not one. 865-255-03. I mean, this is Ben's fault again. Tremel blamed me for something that I did not do. Ben, it's your fault. You put that in Tremel's ear. You've called me an instigator, and I didn't do anything this time. I don't know what Tremel was talking about.
Always instigating.
I didn't do anything. I was just using an example of Michael Jordan, Nick Saban. I don't know what.
All right, horse.
I don't wear goggles, man. Hour 3.
All right, horse.
Hour 3 coming up. Hour 3 will continue after this.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Jason Swain here. If you're feeling tired and grumpy, it could be low T or something else like sleep apnea. Low T Center now provides an easy and convenient home sleep test shipped to your home in little as 2 days and receive a CPAP device in little as 4 days. It's never been faster or easier to get tested, and most health insurance is accepted. Now is a great time to take care of yourself while you're being quarantined without sports. To order your sleep test online, just go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Do you want a custom-themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Hour 3 powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. 247 Sports, they don't pay me. And yeah, I'm defending those guys today.
Well, it's because you have a great relationship with the people at the top over there.
Today, shut up, Ben. Today, I'm defending him on this. Okay, and I appreciate Shannon Terry's transparency. I mean, he's the owner of the company. I've never met him before, but he's the owner of the company, and he's giving people explanations. He's like, and this is what I said earlier in the show. I said earlier in the show that 247, the folks that evaluate and rate these guys, were getting feedback from coaches. I mean, it's really easy to put 2 and 2 together here. Let me go Sherlock Homeboy for you. Barton Simmons did a virtual sit-down, X's and O's talk with Jeremy Pruitt. Pruitt seemed pretty comfortable during the interview. Bart Simmons goes and does the same thing with the coach at Ohio State. So obviously, these coaches feel comfortable talking to Barton Simmons. There's a type
and Nick Saban, by the way.
Oh, he did it with Nick Saban too?
I don't know if it was Barton, but Nick Saban spoke with 247 doing that same series.
And Nick Saban don't talk to anybody about stuff like this. So you have that's public, these interviews. That tells me, these coaches and 247 guys, they have a pretty good relationship. They communicate. So Shannon Terry, who's the owner of 247, is answering some Tennessee fans' question about, hey, why are these guys dropping your rating? We want an explanation. So Shannon Terry says 247 Sports receives guidance from almost all staffs. People reach out to Charles Power, Steve Whitfrong, Barton Simmons. Sure, they are willing to share their justifications, saying, they'll tell you why. And then Barton Simmons goes on and does that. And so I think that's pretty admirable if you ask
Well, the
me.
problem is people don't like the explanation given.
Yeah, and I'm not sitting here saying that 247 or Rivals or ESPN does everything right all the time and they get every single evaluation right because they don't. No one does. But I just don't think there's some type of conspiracy here. That's all I'm saying. They may be wrong. Dylan Brooks may go on to be Javon Curse or Clowney, Jadeveon Clowney or something. But the notion that there's a conspiracy going on is just not accurate. And I understand Tennessee has been the target of national media for a couple years now. I get that. I understand having your dukes up, ready to throw some hands. I understand that. But I just don't think this is not the fight. This is not a situation where you have to do that. And I think it's a waste of energy to, again, get upset at the evaluators and in the same breath hold Pruitt to a high regard because of his ability to evaluate. It's hypocritical. Let those dudes be wrong. If those dudes are wrong, guess who it makes it look really good? Your head coach. Let them be wrong. You want them to be wrong. I wish our whole class was 2 stars. And then Pruitt took them and made them into all SEC players and NFL picks. That would look better than any other coaching job, right? Now, if I'm a recruit, you can say that Tennessee is the best at development. It's why Rick Barnes is getting 5 stars coming here, because they saw what Rick Barnes did with Admiral Schofield, Grant Williams, and Jordan Bone. Let me get off my pulpit this morning before I start to pass the collection plate around. Let me stop. Let me get to the phones. Vol Nation, good morning.
Good morning, family. How y'all doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. Just sitting back, listening to all the fireworks, man. I'm with you, man. I used to really, because I love recruiting. I used to really focus on the stars and things of that nature. But that's because when we had a Lowell in there, that was the big hype. But, of course, you bring these guys in, you can't develop them,
Mm-hmm.
We have a coach that can evaluate, has a history, and really a staff that has a history of evaluating good talent and being able to develop that talent and produce with that talent and then put them in the league. And so, understanding, like you said, Rivals, 247, they don't always get it right, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes these coaches and these staff are looking at things in a different way, which is probably why it's good for them to interview them so they can kind of get a perspective of what they are looking at, you know what I'm saying? Especially since you don't have these camps and stuff like that. But in the midst of the discrepancies, because there seems to be a discrepancy as far as, what Rivals says a player is and what 247 says. Like with 247, you got all these 5 stars, but yet Rival says you don't have any 5 stars. And I don't know what the rating difference is and how they evaluate differently or whatever, where it's not as consistent. But that's what people look at. And then, like I said, that aspect doesn't bother me. The aspect of me believing in Pruitt and the staff, that's the only thing that I really focus on. But when you're at different places, like around the country, like here I am in South Carolina, and you got, South Carolina fans, which they don't really say a whole lot, but the Clemson fans are just irritating. That's when you hear the fan base and you hear their analysts and their sports talk shows all day long talk about the SEC. That's all they do. Half their show is about the SEC. And then they focus on Tennessee because Tennessee's been the hottest topic, of course, on the recruiting trail. And they evaluate Tennessee's class according to rivals, but they evaluate theirs according to 247. And then they sit there and say, well, Pruitt's nothing and the staff is nothing. These kids, I don't even know if they can play, And these are the same kids that decided to come to Tennessee, had an offer from them, but decided to come to Knoxville instead. You know what I'm saying? So these are not kids that they didn't offer. These are kids that they offered, but they don't like saying anything about that. So that becomes irritating because you're hearing how, and I know it's not true, but when you hear it every day that these fans and these analysts are constantly putting down the staff, putting down these kids, it puts a little grit in their teeth to say, we're going to go out here and prove them wrong. But until that time comes, it's a little agitating because you're constantly listening and hearing that. Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. Yeah. I think Vol Nation, and we're up against it at the top of the hour here on the show, so thanks so much for the phone call. I think the most important thing here is that the owner of 247 Sports says 247 Sports receives guidance from almost all staffs. That means that they're in dialogue with the coaches who are the ones that will coach these players that they're evaluating. Some staffs they have a stronger relationship with and they talk to more than others. Pruitt is someone that has relationships, strong relationships, with a lot of these evaluators because of his time in the SEC as assistant coach and as someone who was a National Recruiter of the Year. So no one's against Pruitt. If anything, these guys are they're cool. But Pruitt has a job to do at the end of the day. 247 and evaluators, they have a job to do at the end of the day. But to think that or to say that there's any type of conspiracy going on, it's just not true. So don't waste your energy, is all I'm saying. Spend it on playing Fortnite with Ben McKee. You want to share your tag with everybody so they can play you in Fortnite or something?
B-Mac-14.
B-Mac. Oh.
M-A-K. When I was in middle school, my best friend, his name was also Ben, so his dad called me B-Mac to separate the two.
You didn't give yourself this nickname, did you?
Nope.
You know that's against nickname laws.
I just told you how I got it.
I'm just making sure you're not just telling us a story for the radio.
My parents can confirm.
Okay. Because I know someone that gave themselves a nickname, and after doing some research with some of his teammates, he tried to say that the nickname was given to him, but the fact was that he gave it to himself. So I just want to make sure.
Who was this?
I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not mentioning any names. I just want to make sure you didn't break nickname law. Just saying, man. All right, Ben. Appreciate you, man. Good stuff today. Had a good time. Now my stomach hurt from laughing. The Swain events fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Have a great day. Peace and love. Same time tomorrow, 7 a.m.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Home service problems occur, even at the most inconvenient times, like during a health crisis. And Tiller is always here to help you 24/7. As people are social distancing and staying at home on workdays, it's an easier time to take care of home maintenance items that you feel are necessary. And we've put new safety precautions in place, like wearing gloves, avoiding physical contact, new sanitation protocols, and limiting time in your home. We're here for you.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.